Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your virtual moderator, Kumar. Welcome to this exciting session by Felissa Stockwell on their AI efforts. A couple of housekeeping rules before we get started. This call is muted, so all of you who are participating, a big thank you, but you may not be able to ask questions via audio. However, if you look at the right bottom side of your screen, you can enable asking question and answers by checking that box and asking your questions. We will get to your question answers at the end of this session. Second housekeeping item is there will be audio streams played as part of video clips during this session. Please look out for a message asking your permission to enable an audio stream, and enable it please so that you can hear the audio on these video clips. Finally, sit back, relax, and enjoy. We have a pleasant surprise. We have Sarah Nagy, who has joined us to provide a keynote address to this session before Felissa shares the journey. Sarah has been with Microsoft for 19 years as a key evangelist for cloud and AI technologies. She knows all the inner workings and also how much Microsoft is investing into AI. So without further ado, I'm handing this over to Sarah.
I think I was muted. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. As Kumar was saying, my name is Sarah Nagy. I have been with Microsoft. It'll be 20 years in June. So as you said, I know lots of the inner workings of what's happening. And I came on today to help introduce this amazing journey about Dawn Foods and this new approach that they have to knowledge management and employee experience using AI. And Actionable Science is a great partner of ours that has built this product for Dawn Foods using our Microsoft AI platform and services. We are really serious at Microsoft about AI, and we're making huge investments across the company in our products and a fusion of AI into existing products that we're already offering. We really rely heavily on our partners to bring our products to life. And Actionable Science is a great partner, and so we're really looking forward to more success stories together. I'm going to see if I can operate the slides here. There we go. Oh, sorry. Let's go back one. There we go. So we really have three key imperatives at Microsoft when we think about AI. We are a platform services and tools company, and we're building offerings that help businesses empower their employees and help their customers, as well as help developers innovate and build new products, and that's a huge focus for us. We're also building AI to help people in general, as well as the planet. We have over 8,000 people inside our AI engineering team that I work on that build our AI products, and many more across the company that are integrating AI into other Microsoft products. Next slide. We have many key investment areas, and the three areas that we're making big investments in are related to building out a full platform from the ground up to support our AI efforts. We infuse AI into our existing product offerings, as I was saying, and we're building custom AI solutions that are more, I'll call it out-of-the-box offerings that users can subscribe to. Next slide. From a platform perspective, I won't go into all the details that's on this slide, but we focus in these three key areas, from building out an infrastructure to support the growth in the AI category to various services that sit on top of this, to being able to offer tools that partners and developers can use to customize AI. Actionable Science has been a strong partner utilizing many of these platform offerings for the product that they've built for Dawn Foods. So next slide. We also infuse AI into existing products. So if you're using things like Office 365 today, Office or Outlook, PowerPoint, if you're using Windows, you're using AI today, it might just be more subtle. Things like the design guide template in PowerPoint or resume builder in Word. If you've seen these are AI integrations that we've been putting into all of our products to help you do things like create better presentations, more robust resumes, and really just help you be more productive. Next slide, please. We also offer a wide range of more what I'll call out-of-the-box AI integrations into what we have as our product suite, Dynamics 365. So some of these products were existing and we've integrated AI into them. Some we've built from the ground up that are custom, bespoke business solutions that you can leverage through a subscription service through Microsoft. And then next slide, please. And while all this is great, and we have made a lot of investments, we also really need to think about ethics and how we can help people with AI. So we have 6 key principles for ethics that we ensure all of our AI products are built on. Things like being transparent and being fair and ensuring that people's privacy is considered. We're also investing $115 million over 5 years in initiatives that we call AI for Good. These are helping with things like modeling the Earth's water supply so that we can do a better job of water conservation and being able to track species that are going endangered, building AI to help people with disabilities, using AI to assist nonprofit and humanitarian organizations so that they can help people. So like I said, there's a lot of money, people, resources, and time that's going into our AI efforts. And I think that's my last slide, but I just want to say how happy I am to be here today. And Actionable Science has been a great partner, and I think you're going to have see and hear some great information on this webinar today. So thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. That was a lovely appetizer for what's to follow. As we jump from the appetizer to the main course, a quick housekeeping note. I promise that we will get all of the presentation decks out to each one of you who attended. So without further ado, I hand it over to Felissa Stockwell. She is indeed the HR leader at Dawn Foods, and she has led this initiative from the very beginning. It's a fascinating journey, and I really thank Felissa for sharing this with us. Without further ado, Felissa, please take it away.
Thanks, Kumar. Thank you, Sarah and Actionable Science, for having us here today. Before I get started, I just also want to introduce someone else who's on the call with me, Christopher Katz. He is our leader of Global People Analytics and also supports HR technology experience here at Dawn. He's been on the team that's been working with our chatbot since the very beginning as well, and he'll be speaking on the call today to talk through some analytics and a few other pieces. So thank you, Christopher, for being here. So just to get started, we want to introduce Dawn Foods and talk a little bit about where we've come from and where we're going. Dawn manufactures and distributes bakery product ingredients that includes mixes, fillings, icings in the channels of artisanal bakeries, food service providers, manufacturers, and supermarkets. Dawn's vision is to really inspire bakery success every day. For the last 100 years, we've helped our customers grow their business and drive engagement with their customers. And although we began as a mom and pop donut shop in Jackson, Michigan, we later began selling our mix, and we've continued to innovate over time and deliver the products and the bakery expertise that our customers need to exceed. With that innovation, one of the big things that happened in 1972 was that we developed a technology that extended shelf life of yeast-raised donuts, which was a big deal for us. We continue to grow as an organization, acquiring manufacturing facilities, and in 1982, we acquired a distribution network, which brought a huge transformation to the organization. Since then, we've gone global, starting in 1989 with work in the UK, and then later on in Mexico and all across Europe. So today, one of Dawn's focus areas is in the digital space. We've been developing our digital strategy to transform our organization and the baking industry. We're looking at e-commerce business development solutions for our customers, and we want to improve our internal digital capabilities, which is the space that we're playing in now. So why a chatbot and why now? There's a lot we could be doing to drive our digital capabilities, particularly within the HR, talent, and people space. but there are 3 key considerations that we'll highlight in just a minute here. And before we do that, I'll quickly share that this chatbot that we're talking about, which has now launched across our organization, actually began as more of an experimental tool to augment learning as part of a people manager training program. So it was really meant to house questions and answers related to the training that our team members could access during and after. And when we took what we learned from that experience and decided we could really scale this much bigger. So we know that our team members at Dawn want and value certain experiences like speed, clarity, ideas, and convenience. They want to be able to access information and resources that enable them to better do their job and serve our customers in a quick and easy way. From the organizational side, as we think about the changing landscape of not only our company, but also the industry, we need solutions that can be scaled, will support and drive agility among our workforce, and increase transparency and access to knowledge. What we're working to do is eliminate the issue of that tribal knowledge and the siloed information across the organization. For example, we know one of the challenges our sales team face is being able to quickly and easily access both process and product information, particularly when they're working with customers. They need a way to easily explain the difference between our 6 different brownie mix offerings, which you might think could be simple, but it is quite complex, or they need reminders on how to enter a sale into new technology. Our chatbot can help solve some of these issues. Thinking about our team members as consumers, we know that there are barriers to knowledge and information. The barriers and knowledge to information access are not unique to Dawn. There's a McKinsey study that shows an employee spend an hour a day or up to 9.3 hours per week simply searching for answers. So this is a lot of time that's essentially wasted when team members could instead be doing more value-added work. So we recognize that our current process of accessing and sharing the wealth of over 100 years of history and knowledge is highly inefficient and doesn't meet the needs of our team members. As consumers, our team members are likely already using digital assets that might include voice or AI. We see here data shows that 57% of consumers use voice interactions with their smartphones. Another study we looked at noted that 48% of consumers already own or plan to purchase smart speakers like an Amazon Alexa for personal use. So we can surmise that our team members have this inefficiency, but they're consumers in the market. They're already using this type of digital technology that is enabling their personal life, and they're learning through this experience, and we can continue that into the workplace. So by treating our team members with a consumer lens, we can not only deliver a better experience, but one that's similar to the customer experience that is integral to the success of our organization and the customer experience that we're trying to deliver through our digital strategy. We can manifest a learning experience through the chatbot that will really empower our team members to work more productively, add more value, and better support our customers. Finally, as our organization and our HR function is experiencing change, we knew that we needed digital capabilities to support this new model. We've moved from an employee to HR ratio support of 142 team members to 1 HR person to 250 to 1. So finding a way to increase the efficiency of our HR team while remaining trusted partners to the business has been a critical challenge. So after our experience with Caro in our People Manager program, we believed that we could automate and provide the quick answers and access to information that team members routinely and repeatedly ask HR. So for example, it's those questions like, where can I find a position requisition form? What's a parental leave policy? How do I change my W-2? Those types of questions that we get a lot. By leveraging the technology of a chatbot for almost 80% of these types of HR inquiries, we're really freeing up time for our HR team to focus on more of the strategic business partnership. And for what we can't automate, we can provide a more streamlined solution like a query system and manage complex issues and situations in a one-on-one capacity, though still always looking for ways AI can complement and enhance the processes and experiences. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our chatbot, Hey Caro. So Hey Caro, we see her at Dawn as our personal on-the-go Chief Knowledge Officer. As the Chief Officer, she's officially a part of our senior leadership team. Currently, our team members can access Hey Caro using their desktop or mobile phone. And in future, we plan to integrate Caro's knowledge base in an internal Google-like search feature, as well as exploring ways to implement voice capability like Amazon Alexa. One of the questions we often get asked is, how did Caro get her name? And why does she have orange hair? So Caro was built from Actionable Science's chatbot platform, Vera, but we wanted to customize her to fit into the culture and feel of Dawn. So Caro gets her name from the name Carolina. It's a nickname for Carolina. And Carolina Fuentes is a team member at Dawn who was part of the original team who piloted Caro. So in a nod to Carolina's efforts in launching this chatbot, Caro was named after her, which is pretty cool and a pretty neat legacy. And then she has the signature orange hair, which is cheery and bright and stands out. So I'm going to have Christopher show us here just an example demo of Caro and what you can see through our mobile experience.
So hello, everyone. Let's see. Let me get this video going. Okay, so here you can see our iOS version of Caro. And we're going to go through and ask a couple of different types of questions. For example, how do I order new business cards? This is great for new employees. I'm not sure why that paused. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can restart. Okay. So this question, or this use of Caro, is great for new employees, employees who are onboarding, or if you don't need to order business cards very often, you might not remember the process readily. So Caro is great at assisting and providing that information to our team members. And is this something we're doing, this pausing?
No. Kumar, can you advise here? Not sure why it keeps cutting back to the beginning.
Sure. I think we could give it one more try and start it again.
Okay. I'm going to advance it to about the point where we reverted back. Hopefully it continues. So as Felisa mentioned, there are a lot of different brownie mixes and varieties that we have available. So it's great for our team members. Oh my. Yeah, so I'll just go through and list the other questions that we were hoping to show. But it's great that team members can ask about those products, especially for team members in the finance or IT areas where they might not routinely interact with the product and have that information already. So it's a great learning tool. Let's see, the next question, what can I search for in Salesforce? Demonstrates that Caro is a great learning partner. And able to help team members learn the particular skills they need to operate new tools quickly, so that they don't have to step away from what they're doing to learn what feature they want to access. They can learn it with Caro and continue on with their work right in that setting. The final question we were hoping to show is, what is your favorite color? And Caro's orange, of course, based on her orange hair. And that's one of these small talk features that Actionable Science helped us to develop, which really added a lot of color and depth to Caro's personality. We wanted her to be much more than a flat program interface.
So thanks, Christopher. And sorry, I'm not sure why our demo wasn't working there, but we'll move on. So that was just not as great of a glimpse as we wanted to show, but a small glimpse into the look and the feel of Hey Caro, our mobile solution for iOS, which also we have on Android. And want to sort of transition now and talk through the process we went through in developing AI and in creating a high quality team member experience. So I shared earlier that the experiences our team members most value which come from our team member experience survey, the speed, clarity, ideas, and convenience. Those are really important to us, and we took those and distilled those experiences into a concise set of design principles as we went through this development journey. The first being clean and intuitive. So in a world where everything is competing for our attention, we wanted to design the Hey Carol program, and particularly the mobile app that you saw, to have no extras beyond what was needed. Once you log in, it's clean, it uses a lot of white space, and it's easy to understand how to ask the question, what button do I press? How do I indicate if this was helpful or not? We didn't want any extraneous information, images, or items that distract the user from the intended purpose, which is to learn and acquire knowledge. The second design principle that we work with is keeping it simple and in 3 to 5 steps. So whether a user accesses Hey Carol from their desktop or the mobile app, it only takes up to 5 steps or clicks to ask the question and receive that answer in the 0.39 seconds. So quick and easy. Thirdly, we want to match the team member experience to the customer experience. And this is something that we continue to come back to. So if our vision as a company is to inspire bakery success every day for our customers, the experience that we want to give our team members is one that they can learn every day. And in doing so, that'll help them to better inspire our customers. From the principles, we went on a journey of design, development, and delivery, and came out with some exciting features and valuable insights. Thinking about our mobile app, which we're very excited and proud of, and had a lot of partnership with Actionable Science, who have been great partners in this journey. We've been able to do a lot more than I think we originally intended. So one of the features that we really love is the ability to have app notifications. We thought it's not enough for us just to have a mobile app that users can access when they're, after a meeting, when they've heard something new, or on their free time as they're learning with a customer, et cetera. We wanted to continue to drive that learning in a more proactive way. And one way we do that is through notifications. So every day at about 9:30 Eastern time, users will receive a push notification that encourages them to learn for 1 minute every day. And there's a specific question. By clicking on the notification, it takes them into the app and gives them an answer. And it's information that you may not have otherwise known. It's interesting facts about the company, our business, but also can be used when we have different initiatives going on across the organization to bring people's attention to that. From an analytics standpoint, we have the capabilities to look at usage across countries and have implemented custom metadata in the form of categories and tags that correspond to our organization job families. So for example, we can look at the number of questions that have been asked in a certain time period for our commercial job family. On platform activity, we've integrated Hey Carol into SharePoint, as we mentioned, and we're in the process of integrating her onto a new talent and people website. And for future, we're looking to integrate Carol onto Facebook Workplace. So as we've gone through the process of building and launching Hey Carol, we've identified a few practices and insights. Around design, despite being very clear at Carol's initial narrow focus on the basics of baking as part of this People Manager program, we were surprised to find team members still asked a lot of questions that were outside of scope. So maybe they were finance questions or HR questions, and that I think was giving them a less than ideal experience. So our learning was really to expect the unexpected preference and use from the users. And from the technical capability, we know that a deep partnership between HR or the team that's creating the chatbot, Actionable Science as the vendor, and our IT team allowed us to better understand and eventually plan for the technical hurdles of integrating Carol while simultaneously upgrading our IT experience. And then utilizing an informal agile process helped us tackle the most important features and issues in a timely fashion and keep moving the innovative project forward. So launching an enhancement while working on the next one, launching an enhancement. So it was a really agile process. In the development space, beyond the technical design of Carol, we also had to develop a robust process and policy for centralizing and managing organization knowledge. Of course, we partnered with some subject matter experts across the business, and you'll hear more about this in a few minutes. But there's also additional analytics benefits that Christopher will later speak to. And then finally, in the delivery mode, team members expect Caro to know the answers the moment they have questions. So to make sure Caro is prepared for their questions and to be ahead of organizational changes, projects, and initiatives, we went a step further. We integrated these questions and answers ahead of time so that as soon as a change was made, we knew people would go into Caro and ask those questions, and they were there and we were ready. We integrated Caro into additional new training programs beyond the People Manager program in which she started, and also ensured that team members became familiar with seeing and interacting with Caro around the business. So you can see her on our TV screens, on posters, on slide decks as part of trainings. So it's the frequent interactions on the multiple channel that further solidify that familiarity. And then finally, we've been purposeful in trying to keep Hey Caro fun. That comes through in the personality questions, the question that we tried to demo here on what her favorite color is, the orange hair, and also about how we talk about Caro as more of a respected team member and not just a flat app or a flat technology service. So before we get into the knowledge management piece, we have a video that we created that really highlights kind of the feeling that we want people to get when they think about Caro and they use Caro. Okay, so the video, every time I watch it, I do smile. We launched that video as part of a sort of marketing campaign to better introduce our team members to Caro. But what I think it really brings out is the light nature and the fun around her, but also we wanted to pull through that knowledge that we're obtaining and we're sharing across the organization comes from our great people at Dawn. So it's reinforcing that the 100 years of knowledge we have comes from our team members. And this is really the piece around knowledge management. So a robust knowledge management approach and how we've managed that has been integral to how our team members are experiencing Hey Caro, and by extension, our HR digital transformation. So we knew that in order to really build out content, what was needed, we decided to build out a knowledge management team. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Elizabeth. So there was a freeze in between, but Caro seems to have caught the freeze. So please continue.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what the issue was there.
Yeah.
I'll quickly recap. We took a robust approach to knowledge management and how we would build the content for Hey Caro. So we developed a knowledge management team that consisted of around 50 people across the globe of Dawn, all different functional areas which you see on the screen. They're considered subject matter experts, and some of them self-selected in because of a passion for learning and knowledge. And we also utilized the support of our HR team to help us determine who would be the best people for this team. So we asked team members to think about the questions that they often get repeatedly from folks within their organizational unit and without, and then to create those into questions and answers. From there, we utilized our organization categories and metadata to better consolidate the questions so that we could use that for future analytics. From an ongoing standpoint, this team, we use them to help us answer questions that we continue to get and ask to continue building our knowledge base, which has ramped up. In the month of March, we added 1,300 new questions, which was a big deal, and we continue to do so each month. So I'll turn it over to Christopher to talk a little bit about the analytics piece.
All right, thank you, Felisa. So there's a lot going on this slide. I'll try to walk us through it in a logical manner. As Felisa mentioned, we wanted to align the question and answer content to our organizational structure and our job family structure for a number of reasons, and primarily to ensure some content ownership and accountability. And it's a lot easier for us to go to those team leaders to validate questions, to get further clarity on questions with a knowledge-based structure that closely matches the organization. So that was a huge help for us. This slide is about the same type of reporting that we would present to our senior leaders and different leadership teams across Dawn as part of our broader people analytics strategy that we are developing at this point. So we really want for our leaders to see insights about how the data in their particular job area is being used, and also at the same time learn how they can engage their teams to ensure their teams are sharing information and presenting information to the rest of the organization in a way that we can all digest it and we're all able to learn and apply that information on an ongoing basis. So in addition to reporting on the knowledge base, we show the overall size of the knowledge base, the proportion of the knowledge base that's taken up by each of the job functions. And you can see that our commercial and HR teams have about 22% each of the knowledge base at this point. And that's no surprise for HR, given that we're relying on Caro for a big chunk of our HR services via that new service model that Felisa presented. Another big portion of questions are administrative in nature, things like acronyms and other items that new team members might not be aware of. So those things are available to team members. We also show, I think most importantly, in that table is the percent of questions that were rated as being helpful. So we're showing the period of May, and an overall helpfulness rating for all of the questions asked in May was 82% of our team members found those helpful. So we think that's some excellent performance, though we are working with these content owners to continually refine the answers to try to increase that satisfaction rating for our team members to 90 or better percent. We also show the access platform that our team members are using, so we can continue to focus our efforts where it makes sense based on where their attention is. And we also show our leaders the top questions that are being asked by region. And you can see the types of questions are quite varied, which is exciting to see the different focuses that the different areas have. And they also demonstrate, I think, the different types of knowledge types that Felisa mentioned we decided to include as one of our metadata types. So for our metadata, we categorized our questions based on the region for which the answers might be applicable. Some of the answers are applicable to our global team members, while other answers are really only for the US versus Europe. So we're going to use that metadata tag to ensure team members receive the appropriate answer based on the region in which they are working. And we also have a metadata tag for the frequency with which the questions need to be reviewed and updated. And the final one that we're showing on the screen is the metadata tag for knowledge type. So we wanted to not only know what team members are accessing based on the content area, but what are they learning, or what is Caro teaching them in those content areas. So from things like general info, like who is the Jones family, our company owners, to more specific things like analytics. People can ask Caro for the current headcount, for example, and receive that answer. In addition to that, we've broken out processes, things like how to file FSA expenses, for example. We've found that helpful to be able to report, as well as responsibility allocation. So those are questions about who do I see to have an expense approved, for example. And as we become more agile and roles become more fluid, we foresee that type of question to become more popular in the knowledge base. And in addition, we also show our policies and projects and initiatives. So again, this is all shown and collected in order to empower our leaders to really understand how Caro is being used and how it could better be used or better be enhanced to support our evolving team member experience.
Great, thanks, Christopher. So we've evolved from a small pilot chatbot for one specific program to integrating Caro across an app, a desktop, and we're doing that even further today. So thanks to Caro, we've been able to completely rethink our learning approach. In the past, we've heavily relied on assigned and classroom type training, but with Caro as the foundation of this micro-learning strategy you see here, this 1-2-5-1, she facilitates daily learning moments and is a conduit for just-in-time training to acquire new knowledge and skills. And because AI and learning provides us a scalable solution to transfer both deep and broad knowledge, our team members are really able to learn at their convenience and as their passion drives them to do so. So we believe that this makes a meaningful team member experience because we have the tool that allows them to create their individual desired learning and employee experience. So from 8 hours per day of combing through SharePoint sites, network drives, sending emails and instant messages, to being able to access 100 years of knowledge in 0.39 seconds through Hey Caro, we've come a long way over the last several months, but we are not done yet. We have a lot more that we want to do. When thinking about questions and answers, the current capabilities that we include are links to other websites and photos, but we're working to incorporate more multimedia like videos so that we can promote more training using the bot. Integrating with our new HRS platform, which we're rolling out in a phased regional implementation, which will be complete early 2020. On the analytics side, we're evolving the look and feel to be more brand aligned and also provide actionable insights at a glance without the need for analysis. The content area continues to be a big piece of what we're doing here. How can we continually update and upgrade our content? And we're looking at crowdsourcing solutions. So being able to cast a wider net across the world of Dawn for folks to provide us questions and answers that will then verify. So we may look to use Workplace, using hashtags, or the ability to submit question and answers directly to Hey Caro via a chat. And then around the mobile app development, we are working with single sign-on integration, which we hope is coming in the next couple of weeks, so that we'll be able to better provide regional or country-specific answers to our team members, as well as with our notifications. And then lastly, with our query management integration to further enhance our HR service model and optimize our creative, passionate HR responders. So really in closing here, what started as a simple experimental chatbot to enhance a people manager program, it took a life of its own, and it's helped transform and become the face of knowledge and learning at Dawn. Hey Caro continues to teach team members daily and she continues to teach us about the massive potential of AI to change the talent, learning, and employment landscape. And as we work to improve Hey Caro, we're continually challenged to think about how we can interact and partner with technology to create better experiences for all of our team members, starting with accessing 100 years of knowledge in 0.39 seconds. So that's it. Thank you. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but if you do have more questions, feel free to reach out to Christopher Katz or myself. Emails are here. We're both on LinkedIn, and we're happy to talk more about our experience with Hey Caro and AI and learning in general.
Thank you, Felisa and Christopher, for baking up such an appetizing meal. And I dare say a little bit of the dessert as well. Can Manish top that, add to it? Let's without ado hand it over to Manish Sharma. He's the Chief Operating Officer at Actionable Science. He will provide a perspective of where we are coming from, in this lovely journey with Dawn Foods and where we are headed. Manish?
Thank you so much, Kumar. Thank you so much, Felisa and Christopher. You're an amazing partner, and there's a lot of hard work that has gone in at Dawn Foods to make this program successful. There are a lot of people involved, and I really appreciate, this co-working. We have worked together to make this work, and this has been an amazing story. So I'll just give you guys in 1 minute or 2 minutes a quick story, and the story is of two islands. Am I hitting technical difficulties? I am. Hold on. There you go. It's loading. Okay. So the stories of two islands, and on the one island, all the organizations have their business processes, and on the other island, you have your knowledge assets, and sometimes scattered throughout the island. And for something to really magical to happen, you want your business processes and your knowledge assets to talk to each other and work with each other. And that has been a challenge. People have tried it in different ways, but there have been issues. There have never been a perfect solution so far on how to connect these two, how to seamlessly use knowledge to actually drive your business processes and business outcomes. What we are trying to do is to link these two islands using a flight, if you will, to create great connectivity between those two so that your customers can benefit. And, it is as simple as booking a flight, if you will, in the way we are trying to work. So, for example, if you want to start in your AI automation journey, you might be in a place, your departure might be a place where there's no automation, or there might be some automation, or there might be very high but traditional automation. Your arrival, you might want to do AI-driven knowledge automation, you might want to do AI-driven task automation, or you might want to do AI-driven process automation, like employee onboarding, for example, like something more complicated. You might have different, what we call passengers in there, like you might want to do with HR, but you also might want to do some customer-centric, automation. And as far as the class is concerned, there's only one class in this ride, which is high return on investment. We don't have any other class, so we are economy class flight people. But the story that we are trying to tell is we are trying to make it simple for everyone to get on this automation, AI-driven automation journey, and we are trying to connect these two islands, and the result will be auto resolution. This is the word around which we have built our company. That means we want issues to get resolved using AI, with the help of AI, and that's our story. That being said, I'm happy to kind of show you how the product looks like at a high level. And I don't know if you guys can see my screen yet.
We can, Manish.
Oh, you can. Fantastic. So, I'm not going to go into the details, but it's a beautiful product. I obviously love it. And it's very sophisticated. It comes with its own ticketing system and so on and so forth. So happy to spend more time with anyone who is interested in looking at more product details. But thank you for being here, and we'll leave it open to question and answers at this point of time.
Thank you, Manish. So this fantastic flight with Actionable Science, where the appetizer was served by Microsoft and the lunch and cookies were served by Don Foods. What more can we ask for? Of course, some questions, right? So let me ask some questions that have been submitted. Thanks so much for submitting your questions. The first question really, and Felisa, I will direct the question to you. The first question is about what's been your experience on managing growth of the knowledge management system? And how did Actionable Sciences solution help in this objective?
Sure. That's a really great question. I think I'll say the experience so far has been rapid. We've really focused on creating more content, curating more content for the knowledge management or the knowledge base over the last several months, and we'll continue to do so. But I think a couple of important notes, which I said a bit earlier, but you really need to have a representative population across all functional areas and departments, and need to focus the efforts with people who can be really engaged in the solution, who have that passion for learning and knowledge, who are really users of the technology already, so they understand the use, value it as a tool, and then are more engaged. I think I'll say Actionable Science has been helpful here on the back end because we really wanted the customization on how we organize our knowledge base. So this is around the categories that reflect all of our job families, our sub-job families, but then the metadata tag structure, being able to determine this is a question that's a process, or this is a question around a project, it's general information. So that lets us see what our knowledge base is made up of, where can we really focus on bringing more content in a certain area or within a certain function, for example. So just the technology that Actionable Science has been able to provide us on that respect has been extremely helpful in growing and managing the knowledge base.
Great, Felisa. Thank you. Thanks for that answer. I'll probably give you a little break and ask Manish another question that's come up, which is around what new fun features are you planning to launch in the near future? What is Don Foods looking forward to? What are some of your other customers looking forward to?
Hi. Thanks for the question. And, there's a lot of funny stuff coming, a lot of innovation coming from Microsoft, a lot of innovation coming from us. But to put it in context of talent management, we will be able to do process automation, things like employee onboarding, employee provisioning, and so on and so forth, more complex tasks as the time goes on. And that will allow more and more AI to be infused in the entire HR talent management process.
Good. I think I'll try to squeeze in one last question, and then, folks, I promise you, we'll send you a Q&A note separate from this session. But just to ask very last question, and Felisa, I'm pointing it to you. What is the most challenging issue that you faced in enlisting participation for the Fun Caro program? And how do you plan to sustain it?
So, yeah, I would say one of the most challenging issues has been around timing. We've been working very, very rapidly because we want to work in this agile way and deliver a great solution. So it's been quite an iterative process, which is also good. It's really, pushed us to do things maybe that have been a little bit out of our comfort zone. And certainly we've all been growing from that. But I think another challenge could be just around keeping up with the hunger for knowledge. As part of the Actionable Science admin site, we have we're able to look at questions that need training, meaning they need to be answered, or a question that isn't in the system today that we would like to put in there. So it's really keeping up with that. And we've been able to do that partially by having someone who's been dedicated to really focus on that and make sure that we're keeping up with the demand of our team members. I don't know if Christopher, you would add anything to that.
No, I guess the only other item might be the consistency of tone and voice in the answers. Managing that across such a large team from so many different areas and diverse areas of the business has been a bit of a challenge, but I think we have some new ideas that we're excited to try for the next addition to the knowledge base.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I think just so to quickly answer the second part of that question, how do we plan to sustain? I think some of the future focuses that I talked through are particularly around the knowledge management base. How can we continue to grow that and curate that in a different way, integrating with HRIS and really providing more focused answers based on regions. I think that will continue to make Carol relevant and keep her relevant, and she'll be able to adapt with the changing needs and wants of our organization.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Felisa and Christopher. Thanks, Manish. And thanks, Sarah, for a lovely presentation. We learned a lot from this. And what can I say about our lovely audience? In the words of the immortal Beatles, you're such a lovely audience that I would love to take you home. But since I can't, I promise that I will definitely send you all the presentation, a video link to this session, and question and answers to all of you. So wrapping up, thanks again. Thanks to Actionable Science for sponsoring this. And here's a shout out to Felisa, Christopher,